This is 14 by 14, coming to you from Regina, Saskatchewan.
Welcome to 14 by 14. I'm Rebecca Lesko.
And I'm Eric Westaver.
On today's broadcast, we'll be talking about the state of the Cree language in Saskatchewan.
We'll also be heading to Agribition for a look at its most recent attraction.
But now, let's start with the story of Austin Zur, a 4-year-old Regina boy with a rare eye disease. Austin's family needs to raise nearly $500,000 for a breakthrough surgery in England. With more, here's Loren Newman.
I hope.
4-year-old Austin Zur has LCA, a very rare degenerative eye disease that robs him almost entirely of his vision. Treatment for LCA isn't available in North America, and after dedicated searching, Austin's dad, Ian Zur, found a study out of Moorfields Eye Hospital in London, England that could possibly treat Austin's vision.
Hands on bush, that's what it says, yeah?
Without knowing the number, I offered up that I would be willing to do whatever I could here locally in terms of fundraising to help the program get off, because it not only helps my son, but the other patients that they've enrolled in the study. So,
teaming up with Moorfields Eye Hospital, the Zur family needs to raise $400,000 to get Austin's study up and running. Through 2 fundraisers, Rockin' for Austin and a Schnitzel night at Regina's German Club last week, the friends and family of the Zurs came out to show their support and raised $3,000 to go towards their goal.
just one guy trying to obviously help my boy, but try to advance this particular field of gene therapy treatment, because during my travels and research of it, I'm finding that the particular methods and techniques that they're likely to use to administer this can be extended to potentially treat other retinal disorders. So I think this is just part of a bigger picture that I'm happy to be a part of, and hopefully one day my son will be able to be blessed with the gift of sight from this treatment, and that others soon will be able to soon follow.
The Zur family will be hosting more fundraisers come the new year. If funding continues the way it has been, Austin could receive treatment by June of 2016. With 14 by 14, I'm Loren Newman, Regina.
From all of us at 14 by 14, we wish Austin and his family the best on the road ahead.
Carmichael Outreach, an organization dedicated to helping Regina's homeless, is having one of their year's major fundraisers. More than 4,000 people in Regina rely on shelters every year. Here's Rafiq Bouyan with more.
The Carmichael Outreach Center is currently holding its second major fundraiser of the year. The center hopes the Christmas appeal will raise $55,000 to help provide the services to those who are in need, like Trevor Keeley.
My favorite programs here are the art classes. I really like doing art. Yeah, it's a lot of fun here.
Fun is there, but the message to the broader community is hardships remain. As Taylor Gray explained,
this experience of poverty is something that I'm not criticizing people for not knowing, but I think the broader community is largely unaware of.
Christmas Appeal creates the opportunity for anyone contributes to Carmichael.
There's a lot of personal responsibility that plays into it for sure, but there's also community responsibility. And I think we really feel like we're trying to bring that community awareness to generate community responsibility.
The broader community awareness will allow the center to continue to provide and expand their services.
The hope is that you have a good campaign like this and you raise your $55,000 and it's great and you hit that target. But if you don't, we'll spend the next 11 months figuring out how we're going to make up that shortfall.
Because Carmichael needs to continue to provide helping hands and happiness to people like Trevor Keeley.
My life's not going good right now. I'm kind of down in the dumps, but I'm getting through it, you know. I got my friends here at Carmichael's.
The Christmas Appeal is an attempt to reach out to the grassroots community in the spirit of holiday season. For 14 by 14, I'm Rafiq Bouyan.
Carmichael is currently accepting volunteers and donations for the winter.
Coming up after the break, a new store in Regina is selling some colorful wares. Also, a look at what's being done to preserve the Cree language in Saskatchewan. Welcome back. Saskatchewan is more diverse than ever. More than 200 ethnic groups were reported in the province's latest census. A new store in Regina has opened up to help this diversity thrive. Here's Ashley Robinson with more.
Saskatchewan is more culturally diverse than ever before. People from all over the world now call it home. They have brought their own cultures with them, but they have trouble in some ways keeping their culture alive. In Saskatchewan, there is a lack of multicultural stores. A new store in Victoria Square Mall is helping with this.
They are very happy because this type of dresses are new for there, and their response are very positive.
Patricia Kreutzweiser attended a Hindu wedding for her first time a few years ago. She feels that a store like this is for everyone.
You know, outside of the culture, may find it, a comfortable addition to their wardrobe.
New to Regina residents have had trouble finding multicultural clothing. They are happy to hear about this new store.
It would be a great idea if they do have it here, because it's going to help so many students to find their culturalism, their culture and traditional clothes.
Since I come from an African country, it's very difficult to find African attires, and it's a bit challenging to adapt to an environment that you're not used to.
This store is sure to help the diverse culture of Saskatchewan. Whether shopping for a sari or just a colorful outfit to wear, you are sure to find something beautiful. For 14 by 14, I'm Ashley Robinson.
Thanks, Ashley. Can't wait to see all those colorful clothes around Regina.
Recent statistics show the number of Saskatchewan Cree speakers went down by nearly 2%. A professor at First Nations University is working to change that. With more, here's Creedon Martell.
The Cree language has been spoken all over the country for centuries. Despite a long and damaging residential school program, the Cree language is one of the many which has survived. Today, Cree is stronger than ever due to the efforts of people such as Solomon Ratt, a professor at the First Nations University of Canada.
It is very important for us to teach it to our young, and because behind Cree there's a lot of words that do not have equivalents in English.
Solomon has also published several textbooks which he has integrated into his curriculum. His work reaches far. Many northern communities are currently testing an upcoming textbook in their schools. Roman Young and Kristen Auger are two students who studied Cree under Solomon. Though they both have Cree backgrounds, their experience is varied. Roman grew up in Shoal Lake, a largely Cree-speaking community.
What motivated me to continue speaking Cree was I do have a passion for my language. I love everything about it, and the fact that I still retain knowledge of it. And I wanted to, learn it so I can pass it on.
In contrast, Kristen grew up in British Columbia, where Cree is not as widely spoken. Now that she has learned more about the language, she is using it to engage in conversations with her grandmother.
And every time that I learn a little bit more and I talk to my family, it just feels so good. Like every time I can say just one more thing, or I can understand just one word.
The Cree language will live through people like Solomon.
So we had funny moments, We had lots of sad moments, but we had lots of funny moments too, and I tend to look at the funny moments in class.
Navei atsamun o te ute atsamuan kiskenwaho matawigamik o te uskana ga asastigek ute. Creedon Martell, Nasigasun.
Solomon Ratt's new book, Woods Cree Stories, is out now in both English and in Cree. Now let's check in with Taylor Rattray with the weather. Taylor?
Hey there, I'm just hanging out in beautiful Saskatchewan. Right now it's minus 11 degrees, but the rest of the week looks a lot warmer. Join me later on for more on the forecast and where I'd rather be. Back to you, Eric.
Don't freeze out there, Taylor. We'll talk to you again after this short break.
Are you tired all the time? Feel like you can't cope?
Then come join the U of R J School. At the J School, you'll put your stress to great use. Learn to love the spacious labs and the luxurious edit suites. Our state-of-the-art equipment will get you going in no time at all. And we have this thing, whatever that is. Well, it's still cool. The U of R J School. You'll still be stressed, but it'll be worth it.
Welcome back. Over the holiday season, Regina residents may partake in some partying and drinking. If you have a little too much, Operation Red Nose is here to help. Operation Red Nose is underway for a second year. The National Road Safety Campaign aims to reduce impaired driving during the holiday season. Chairman Edward Edwards brought the operation to Regina to help lower the amount of impaired drivers, an effort that is close to his heart.
I'm 49 years old. When I was 4 years old, my sister was killed by a drunk driver. So that's always been a part of my world, impaired driving.
Operation Red Nose works with the Queen City Kinsmen. Volunteer coordinator Heather Lloyd McGilvray is also looking to make an effort.
One person, even one person, we're taking them home and getting them there safely.
Last year alone, 146 rides were given during the holidays. The operation is run by volunteers like Alexis Fellner, who wants to do what she can to keep the roads safe.
We can do something to lower the risk of anyone else out there, whether it's the people who want to drive home or the people who are just heading somewhere else who haven't even been drinking. You know, it helps everybody.
Donations are accepted to go towards youth sports, but the service Operation Red Nose provides is free.
This is over and above being a taxi. You know, it's making sure, like I said before, it's making sure that the people are getting home safe with their vehicles with Operation Red Nose.
Operation Red Nose runs until New Year's Eve. You can go to operationrednose.com for more details.
While more Canadians than ever before have mental illness, it's often hidden. Many people needing help don't feel able to tell others their problems. U of R students are doing something about it.
1 in 4 Canadians will suffer from mental illness, but while many suffer, very few talk about it. On campus, student groups have come together to change that. URSU and Students for Mental Wellness are teaming up for Pop the Stigma, a week dedicated to mental health awareness. Morgan Brady, co-chair of Students for Mental Wellness, says the week is meant to help students.
My personal goal is really to cultivate a conversation about the mental wellness of students. My goal with the student club is to really initiate students in a conversation about their well-being on campus.
For URSU's Daniela Zemlak, an event leader, the issue of mental wellness hits home.
My brother is actually a 2-time suicide survivor, was a drug addict, has been in and out of the hospital, and luckily now is recovering and doing really well, but it impacts you and it changes the way that you look at things.
Dozens of students have written messages of support. Other events like Indigenous sharing circles have also taken place. The week ended Friday night with speeches by student leaders and mental health advocate Theo Fleury. Fleury, a former NHL star, has written 2 books and speaks about mental illness.
It's all about safety, finding a safe person or a safe place or a safe group of people where you can go and talk about your feelings, because mental illness, people suffer in silence because there's shame attached to it.
Organizers created a fund for mental wellness throughout the week. There are plans for more events in the future. Now let's go back outside to Taylor Rattray with the weather and how she feels about it. Taylor?
This is where we want to be. And this is where we actually are. Currently it's a balmy minus 11 degrees, with the rest of the week warming up a tad to a high of minus 4 on Saturday. Not surprising with these temperatures, people in Saskatchewan are known for trying to escape the winter. And this winter will be no different. I recently talked to Brittany Hoff, whose family is escaping to Mexico over the Christmas break.
They're really excited, especially my mom, because she's never been anywhere hot before, but my sister has been to Jamaica and Mexico, so it's just another holiday for her kind of deal.
I'll be spending my winter holidays cuddled up with a warm blanket and a hot cup of tea. For 14 by 14, I'm Taylor Rattray. Stay warm, Regina.
The struggle is real, Taylor. After the break, we'll have scenes from Agribition and a special sports report from Britton Gray.
everyone, and welcome to the Late Night Sessions with your award-winning sports reporter, Britton Gray.
And I'm 14x14 writer, Alex Salone.
And we're here to help all you crazy cats and dogs out there get ready for your late night activities.
So turn down the lights and turn up the volume as we take you on a magic carpet ride.
We'll also be holding special shows like Polka Nights for all you Golden Age movers and swingers, and Top 40 Nights for all you tone deaf mamma jams. We'll also be reviewing all the best albums to get down with your bad self too.
As well as all the best events for you movers and shakers to get down to, like the Harvest King Records Christmas party on December 29th, with the man who's escaped the confines of this world, Canadian Major Tom, Chris Hadfield, speaking tonight.
So be sure to curl up with that special someone.
And join us at the Witching Hour every Thursday morning at 3 a.m.
Join us, won't you? Welcome back. It's time now for something a little bit different. Back by popular demand, here's our own Carlos Prieto with his take on agribition. We call this one Carlos on the Spot.
Thanks, guys. Today my spot is the 2014 Canadian Western Agribition. Let's find out what people are up to here. Do you usually come to Agribition every year?
Not all the time, but I used to come all the time, yeah.
Is this your first Agribition?
No, I've been here quite a few times already.
All right.
It's been really good so far. What I've seen is really good.
Is this your first Agribition?
Yes.
Yeah. How are you liking it?
It's pretty fun here.
Shopping and cattle are not the only things that attract people to Agribition. Every year, several events are hosted to bring more audience. What's your favorite event in this year's Agribition, other than?
Oh, for sure, the dog trial. Oh, there's so many. I've been watching quite a few, so enjoying it. And the stock dog was pretty good.
I do the steer riding. I like to watch the bull riding.
Introduced for the first time, jousting is one of the events that is causing most expectation, even among people that won't be able to see it. Do you know they have jousting on Saturday?
Yes, I'm going to be here.
There's jousting on Saturday.
Oh, I'm not going to be here on Saturday.
Yeah, I did know. I heard about jousting, but is it on Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. I heard that, yeah.
You coming?
Probably not, because I'll be working.
From a good stock dog competition to a water barrel race, this year's Agribition is a good way to get away from home and still be indoors. For 14x14, I'm Carlos Prieto. Go ahead.
Interesting, Carlos. Taylor Rattray has more on a new event that's drawing crowds to Agribition this year.
This year's Canadian Western Agribition will feature an event slightly different from traditional rodeo sports, jousting. This medieval sport involves two horsemen riding towards each other with lances. The goal is to knock the opponent off their horse. Corey Hoskins, the trade show manager at the Canadian Western Agribition, explains why they've brought the event in.
As you can see behind me, we got the hockey rink filled with dirt for the only time of the year, and we're always looking for events that we can bring in that kind of work on the dirt, and there's only so many of those you can do. Luckily they're on horses as well, so it kind of works out nice.
Jousting is very different from the events Agribition usually brings in, but visitors are excited to see the unique sport.
I'm interested in the jousting as filling in on that, and also I've been following the jousting somewhat with some interest on television for the past few years.
I'd be interested in seeing that.
Oh, that sounds pretty dangerous.
It's awesome.
Every year, event planners keep looking for new ways to spice up the week.
Yeah, we're always looking for new things that'll draw people in and entice different audiences. So I think we'll be expanding our entertainment lineup again next year, hopefully.
Agribition brings out both the young and the old to its unique events. The Knights of Valor jousting team was no exception, and many hope to see them again next year. Taylor Rattray, 14x14.
Very neat, Taylor. Now here's Britton Gray with sports.
This time of year is filled with stress for students.
As a student athlete, you have the added pressures of practices and games. I set out to investigate how athletes manage to not balance just the work of being a student, but the work needed to be an athlete as well. This is what I found.
Every student has to deal with stress, but student athletes not only have to deal with homework, but also athletic events. And this causes an essential need for organization.
You have to be extremely on top of things. I have like a schedule that's color-coded, and if I don't know where I'm going at every moment of the day, I get lost.
Todd Johnson, coach of the U of R Cougar men's hockey team, notices when the students are feeling extra stressed during practices.
You know, you see it during the week, during practice. I mean, some guys, you know, are better at time management than others, but yeah, you definitely see it just with the, you know, either their focus during practice or their attention to detail during practice sometimes isn't quite there when, you know, they either have assignments or papers or tests during those weeks.
Coaches try to do all they can to help accommodate students reach their academic goals.
Well, there's a bunch of things we do. We make sure our practice times, like I'm big about trying not to practice ever past 6 o'clock at night, so they have the night, the evenings to do that. We give them, you know, time management skills on the road. There's always a place like the breakfast room or that where they can study. So things like that. It's just establishing a culture. And when you come into our program as a first year and you see the upper year kids with their books on the bus and studying on the road and that, you kind of quickly figure out what you should do.
Of course, if given the choice, athletes wouldn't even think about giving up playing.
Basketball's a big part of my life and always has been, so it's something I just try and deal with trying to maintain a balance in order to keep doing both. So.
Student athletes need to ensure that they hit the books as much as they hit the gym in order to remain eligible for the scholarships that they receive. Of course, games still need to be played, and we had some Cougar action happen this weekend. The PCA Nationals occurred this weekend, and the U of R cheer team was looking to three-peat as national champs in the small school co-ed competition. When the routines finished, the team fell just short of their goal and placed second behind the University of Saskatchewan cheer team. In men's basketball, the Cougars are on a 3-game winning streak, beating the Brandon Bobcats 98-87 on Saturday. The women's basketball team also beat the Bobcats this weekend. Sunday's 84-62 win came a little bit harder than the 47-point victory on Saturday. The women's team won their 8th straight to improve to 8-2 on the season. In hockey, the men's team swept Lethbridge 3-1 on Saturday and 8-2 on Sunday. Women's hockey this weekend saw the Cougars go into Lethbridge and play on Friday and Saturday. They split the series, winning the first one on Friday 3-2 before falling on Saturday by a score of 2-1.
All right, thank you very much for that report, Britton.
No problem.
Well, jousting. Might have to try my hand at that.
You sure? I mean, it is going to involve you getting thrown from a horse.
Oh, I'm tough. Don't worry about me.
Guys, let's talk about a sport from this century, like hockey. Did you see the shots I had at that Cougar game last night?
They were pretty good. I'll give you
that.
Yeah. Hi, Taylor. How's it going?
Oh.
I thought you were going to let her in, dude.
I thought you were in charge of that.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. I'm Rebecca Lesko.
I'm Britton Gray.
And I'm Eric Westaver. And from all of us at 14x14, make sure to tune in to our next broadcast. Hopefully Taylor won't be frozen by then. Thanks for watching. Good night.